Alright boys, welcome back to Satisfactory. In the last video, we got our modular frame factory completed. Can't see it. Up there's the modular frames. Anyways, today we are going to be working on the space elevator part, versatile frameworks. And I might do automated wiring in this video as well, because automated wiring isn't hard at all. All we need is steel pipes, which we can do with the iron pipe recipe, and wire, which the same is true for automated wiring as well, because it just takes the stators, which is iron pipes and wire, and then it's just stator and more wire into cable. But I have a recipe for caterium wire, which is 15 caterium ingots a minute to 120 wire per minute, which is a crazy ratio. So this is going to be really useful in this setup. But yeah, all we gotta do is make a new steel beam factory, because obviously that one is being used for all the screws. And then I greedily took the coal from that area that I was going to use to duplicate it. So now we're gonna have to move somewhere else, and I'm thinking right about here. Okay, and besides for what's in the cave, that's the closest quartz I have. So I might have to try and go back into the cave and see if there's an exit somewhere around here, which would be incredibly useful. But if not, I'm going to have to find a way to run the quartz from the screw factory over to the steel beams factory. Alright. I think I got the plan for it, and I'm probably not going to show too much for it, just because I'm pretty much going to try and copy and paste this build. Will I be able to actually copy and paste it? No, probably not. But I'm using all the same recipes and basically going to be doing all the same stuff to make the steel beams. The only difference is, instead of going into screws, the steel beams are going to be going into, I believe, an assembler. Yep, to make versatile frameworks, which I am aiming for 15 a minute. Because I'm going to use 90 of the 180 steel beams that I'm going to be making. Because like I said before, I don't want to use all of my steel beams on the versatile frameworks.
2,000 years later.
Okay. So that took a lot longer to do the steel beam factory than I initially thought it was going to. So let me go over a couple things real quick. So this was our initial quartz setup to silica for our concrete for our foundries and screws. I just simply took this and then I just duplicated it right there. So that's 120 quartz per minute, and that's all the silica I need for the steel beams. And then to do this steel beam factory, I went ahead and took the extra 120 quartz per minute that's coming through and made a personal quartz crystal and silica storage box. And then I needed some quick wire, so I made a small caterium setup. It was directly next to my starter base, and we got a ton of it. And then I made a blueprint, and you might be thinking, well, why did you need a blueprint of a 1 meter wall? If you go to the other side, it's a neon wall. A big, bright neon wall, which was really helpful in this build, because in 1.1 you cannot zoop signs, which is crazy to me that it's taken all the way to 1.2 for zoop to be added to signs. So then we take those three things, well, four things, I guess: quartz crystal, silica, quick wire, and my blueprint, and you get this fucking thing. So I feel like this came out absolutely perfect. Did I know how I was building this when I went into it? No. Did I plan on building this big of a building? No. Did I plan on doing anything remotely close to this? No. I plan on making a big square. I don't know where it went wrong. I think it looks phenomenal. And no, I did not miss the lights here. Unfortunately, before building, I started up there, and when I brought the walls down, there was the rock in the way. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. And one thing I want to say is, little did I know, these ceiling lights don't need power to actually light up an area. Not a single one of these lights have power, by the way. Not a single one of these lights are powered. And it is still extremely nice in here. It's not too bright, not too dark. It's like perfect. A perfect light. And not a single one of them are powered. And then when you come up here to the iron, these lights are powered. They have the big circles on the ground. These are powered. These are not. Not only do you not have to power them, which I don't really understand, but they don't have the light glow thing. I don't know what it's called, but the lights that come down, and you don't have to worry about the big circles. It just looks great. I don't understand it, but it looks great. Okay, now I am really confused. So I'm placing lights that are unpowered, and there's no light. Now, all of a sudden, I'm placing lights, and they have light when I'm not powering them. I don't get it. What is going on? Wait. If I place a normal light from the build menu, it doesn't have light. But if I just copy a light, then without power, it has light. What? Alright, and just like that, this whole top floor is now lit up. So, these are the rest of our steel ingots, which come over here and split to the left and to the right to the foundries for 45 steel beams per minute in each foundry, with our concrete coming up into the foundries, which are connected like this, which we bring through the wall to make versatile frameworks. And boys, we are already stacking. So we're basically done here. And then we still have 2 foundries worth of steel beams backing up, which I'm just throwing them each into storage containers. And the modular frames, I brought it over here and straight down onto a platform, which this platform then runs over here to the path where our tractor goes. As you can see, tractor go vroom vroom. And then this goes down and underneath the tractor platform all the way to the factory. And then when you get them to the factory from under the ramps, they just shoot straight over and into the building. So yeah, this is the Versatile Framework Factory. What should have taken me an hour or two took me like 8 hours. Now, all we have to do is make automated wiring, and we can move on to phase 3. As you can see in the top right, all we need is 100 automated wiring, which it isn't anything. That's literally nothing. Because all we need is iron for our iron pipes and caterium for our wire. Because we'll use the caterium turning into wire to also make our cable. But this should be quite a easy setup. And I don't know exactly how much automated wiring I will want to make, but I think like 10 a minute is a good amount. We only need 100 for the phase, so if we can make 10 a minute, that's only 10 minutes and the phase is done. And then we're making a fair amount for any future projects. And as you can see, there's a caterium node like basically right next to us. Looks like it's that node right there on that cliff. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we have any iron in the immediate area, but that's fine. We could probably just come over here and grab this stuff. But whatever I decide to do, it's going to have to be for tomorrow. Well, at least me tomorrow. This build has taken me 2 full after work days. So I get home from work, I play for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours if possible. And yeah, this build has taken me 2 full after work days. So hopefully I'm almost guaranteeing the automated wiring can be done in 1 day. Alright, well, while you guys may not have noticed the difference, it's been a minute since I have been back, and I've done quite a bit of thinking. So, like I said, I want to do the 10 auto wiring a minute, which is 2 of these setups. So I need 10 stators a minute and 200 cable per minute. But I want to make quite a bit of stators just because I know that they are used in motors and other things. So I want to have a surplus of those. So I'm going to be aiming for 50 stators a minute. And going for 10 automated wiring a minute, I'm going to need 200 cable a minute if I'm going to need 2 of these setups, which typically I wouldn't think would be any big deal for this setup. But like I said, I was crunching some numbers. I am wanting to use this Caterium wire setup, and I need 800 wire total. So I was going to underclock all of the constructors, so that way it's a nice even 100. And that means I need 200 Caterium ingots per minute. Well, with the base recipe, the smelter only gives 15 a minute. So to make it nice and easy, at 20 per minute, if I need 200, we just times this by 10. I need 600 Caterium ore per minute. And there is really no place, I was looking, and there's really no place where 2 Caterium nodes are quite close together. At least from what I have explored on the map. So, what I'm thinking is going to happen here is probably some hard drive hunting. And hopefully I can get a different Caterium ingot recipe that I can actually use that doesn't use like the refinery or whatnot. Like if I could get, I don't know what Caterium recipes there are, but if there's one with like Caterium and iron or Caterium and copper or something, other raw resource to make this number go up way more, that would be great. So I'm going to go do some hard drive hunting, and hopefully things work out. If I can get something to do that, I already have a spot right over there. There's a Caterium node right along my path here, which there's some iron and copper right next to it basically. And that's where I was going to do the build. But depending on the recipe I get, and if it's good enough, plans might change. Okay, so I did a little bit of exploring, and I got 3 hard drives, and I got a couple slugs, whatever. And I learned a couple things. Turns out, I'm an idiot. But as it turns out, I am a smart idiot. So I came all the way up here to the top of this mountain to grab a hard drive, and while I was up here, I got a nice scenic view and was able to do some thinking. So the hard drive I just got is a quick wire stator, and I was considering doing this, but I would end up needing even more Caterium ingots than the base recipes. I seen this copper recipe, and I was like, oh, that could be kind of good if I ever need a build that takes a lot of copper. I'll save that. And then I was looking at my old recipes, and I found this one. So at 100 wire per minute, the numbers are a little funky, but basically, to make all 800 wire per minute, I would need not even 30 Caterium ingots per minute, which is 70 less per minute than I needed before, because that brings me to my next thing. Or the first thing I was talking about. I am an idiot. I said it would have taken 200 Caterium ingots. It would have only taken 100. But even then, that's still 300 raw Caterium, which is more than my belts can handle. Because, yeah, I could stick a power shard into the miner to get the 300 something a minute that I need, but my belts can't handle that yet. So, I believe we are going to do this recipe and this recipe, the copper recipe, because for all 150 pipes a minute, I only need 60 copper per minute, so I have plenty leftover copper from the 240, I believe, the miner produces. And then I only need 240 iron to do all 600 ingots, which is only one node, and there's like, I think 3 nodes over there. So I have more than enough iron and copper to do this copper alloy ingot recipe, which all of this together should be able to easily produce me my 50 stators a minute with no problem in that one area. So I'm kind of excited to get this going. I'm glad I'm not such an idiot that I just completely grazed right over the old recipes, but we're back, we're in it, we're ready to go, we got plans, we're cooking, let's get started. Okay, as I'm sure you guys remember, I was placing these lights going like this, and when you place it, it's just lit up. You don't need power to it. Well, like I was afraid of, when you reload the game, okay, all the lights are now completely actually unpowered. So that's unfortunate, but it's fine. It's not a hard thing to fix. Alright, so this is where I plan on building it. Like I've already started. Over there is the iron and copper that I need. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to bring that over here. But here's my idea. Miner into 2 smelters for all my Caterium ingots. This foundry is going to be for a little bit of raw copper and raw iron to make me my little bit over 100 copper ingots per minute. I am then going to bring both of these up and just split them straight through a row of 10 assemblers, which I already kind of got figured out, which are going to be making my fused wire, which the reason I'm doing 10 assemblers is because I'm underclocking to 80 a minute per assembler, which makes these work out really nicely, simply because to make my 200 cable per minute, I need 400 wire per minute, and each one of the sections that's underclocked to 80 a minute per assembler is 400 wire per minute. Therefore, say this one section making 400 wire per minute will be perfect for my 200 cables per minute, and then the section over here of 400 wire per minute will be perfect for my 50 stators per minute. And with one set of assemblers, I just need to figure out how to get it into constructors for the cable, which I will probably do when I go up again, because I plan on going up even higher. And then the other assemblers will also probably be merging on the next floor as well, if I can, to make stators. I don't know if I'll be able to or not, but this foundation here is the middle foundation. I plan on leaving these foundations here basically empty, if at all possible, so that way this is where I can have like a walkway and my belts and whatnot. Alright, for the most part, I got this starter setup figured out. So the Caterium is going to come through here, smelts into like 27-ish ingots a minute, or whatever I need. It's going to produce 30, but I only need like 26 or 27. But then they merge come up here and go right up to that floor. And then I'm going to bring the raw copper straight into here, which then it's going to split through this and then go straight up. And I'm going to basically do the same thing with the raw iron. I'm going to need one full 240 node, and then I need another 80 iron, which is going to be taken up with it. But the extra like 160 iron on the one belt is going to get split off and stuck into here, which this isn't using anywhere near that. It's only 75 copper, 75 iron, but it's not a big deal. And then all the copper ingots that come out of here are also going to go just straight up, which this is the caterium. It comes out and then just splits off throughout all the assemblers. And then same thing with the raw copper. It comes up and splits through all the assemblers. And in case you're curious on why I lifted the splitters and belts so high, it's because I basically want to try and keep the floor as clear as possible, so that way I can actually walk around this area. And also, in case you're curious, I'm going to be using the elevator. I unlocked the elevator because doing stairs on this thin of a build would be a nightmare, because that's basically what I'm going for. Every platform I build, I'm trying to do it like as thin as possible. I feel like with a really big building in thin sections, it would look cool, kind of like a skyscraper sort of deal. But yeah, so we're going to be using the elevator, and this whole section is done. This is making all 800 wire per minute. Obviously none of it's powered. Obviously I still need to bring the iron and the copper node from over there, but as far as splitters, conveyors, logistics, all that is done. Okay, so then this is the third floor, which I plan on having the pipes and the iron ingots here. But also now I believe I'm going to do the cable here as well. And on the very top floor, just do like a really small square with lights on it or something, almost like a beacon, making the automated wiring, because it's only 2 assemblers. But down here, when I get the iron and copper here, I'm gonna run it through probably around here-ish, straight up here and into foundries facing this way. And then this wire, like I said, I'm merging the 2 and splitting the 1 to make them perfect 200 belts. Those are coming up here. And then all the iron ingots from the foundries facing this way, and the wire is all going to come over here into 4 constructors making the pipe. And then I believe I'm going to have to expand this a little bit, but then the wire is going to come down. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, since I'm going to be doing this exact same setup here for the 200 and 200 wire on this side, what I'm going to do is when I bring it up, I'm going to bring this wire over here. So that way the foundries that are facing this way can come feed the constructors, and the constructors will make my pipes, and then the pipes and wire can run along here into assemblers to make all my stators, which then somehow I gotta neatly take this wire and bring it in front of the foundries over here to constructors for cable. Yeah? What are you so happy for? You got a song stuck in your head? Whoa. Those physics though. What? What? Oh man. Yep, as per usual. Alright, so I've been working on the 3rd floor. I got these assemblers all merged and connected into the 200 wire each belt. And then on the 3rd floor, I got some messed up stuff going on. So this is one of my belt lines. I don't think it looks horrible, it looks all right. Could I have made it look better? Probably, but it works. So up here, I'm gonna have iron and copper coming to these foundries for iron ingots, which is then going to come over into these constructors, making my pipes, all 150 pipes a minute, and then the pipes are going to go into all these assemblers, which then wire is going to come. And I had a great idea because I was going to take this wire and run it to the assemblers, which would make sense. But instead, I'm going to take the wire from these two, lifted all the way over there, so that way these platforms here are open and clear and walkable. And then I'm going to take these and bring them over here, so that way I can make my 200 cable a minute. Alright, so I ended up doing my original idea anyways. So like I said, I wanted to keep everything off the ground so that way there's walking room, which there is plenty of. And I was going to keep these on the ground and just drag them over, but I think this works out and looks a lot better. It doesn't look like a complete mess, so I am happy. Now all we gotta do is build another floor and 2 assemblers.
Have a productive day.
Thank you. Okay, so we got this floor completely done. Every single thing on every floor is hooked to power, which the elevator makes really easy because you just connect the power to elevate the elevator on one floor, and it has power on all of the floors. So you just grab it from right here and stick a pole there, and you can connect to all your machines. Like right here, same thing. Pole there, connect all the machines. It works great, and it's really easy. It's actually like a game changer. But this is the very top floor. This is what I was talking about when I was saying just like a little square for the 2 assemblers. So I got everything logistics wise, power, everything completely done. All I gotta do is go over there and grab the 2 iron nodes and a copper node and bring them back to hook them up down there. Once I do that, we should be making 50 stators per minute and 10 automated wiring per minute. Meaning after I go over there and get the copper and iron and connect it, within about 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so, give everything a little bit of time to back up, we should be done with phase 2. Alright, so I don't want to do just like a basic foundation with a conveyor along it for the iron and copper. So I'm going to make it difficult on myself. So I'm probably just going to like put them in like a box. And then I want to make like a tunnel kind of thing that comes through and around and like just sort of plugs in right there. And so I'm gonna go mess around in the blueprint designer for a minute and see what I can come up with. Okay, so this is what I came up with. There is no foundations on this, it's just walls. So basically I built a blueprint of a wall block, which is just the 4 walls and standing up, which then I can lock it and I can rotate it. So I rotated it, brought it up, and just put the conveyors there. And my hope is basically if I need to go up or down at all or whatever, I can just rotate it back, delete the conveyors, and just stick conveyor lifts, and then continue on again with this block. But I, like I was saying, didn't want to be basic, so beyond that, I went ahead and put some lights on it. So these are the 2x1 signs. It's obviously red. Well, sorry if you're colorblind. And then I put these basic 1 meter walls here to butt up to the sign. And what's going to make this really easy is the blueprint auto connect feature. While it would be really nice if it works for the walls and whatnot, I don't think it will, so I'll just put the tunnels directly together, but all the conveyors should automatically connect together. So let's take this over to the nodes and see how it goes. Let me tell you what, this thing is not cheap. Okay, so as it turns out, as you can see, the walls that I make smaller, like when I lock them and make them smaller and bigger, those don't save in the blueprint. So yeah, I can't have these in, so it's fine. It doesn't really bother me, but there's little edges on the corners on the top and bottom now, but whatever. It works and it still looks good. Oh, I'm so close. I've spent like an hour and a half doing 3 nodes to this base or factory. It probably would have taken me like 20 minutes. If that, if I had a hover pack. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing these kind of builds. What is wrong with me? Alright, boys, so I got the tunnel back to my factory. All I gotta do is hook it up real quick. But before that, let me just say, it looks so good. It looks so good. Look at that, boys. Oh my god, it looks so good. It's so nice. Oh, it's not much. It's really not crazy, but it took me so long and it looks so good. I gotta delete that stuff over there, but other than that, it looks, I don't know how to describe it, but besides the fact that it looks it looks great. I am happy with myself. I think I truly have outdone myself. Okay, so the solution I came up with to connect this to the base, and by the way, I walled off the area it's in and lit it up, so it's all nice and everything now. But my solution was simply conveyor wall holes, which then directly connect to these lifts, and the copper comes in here, splits off after going into the foundry, and then shoots straight up to the other foundries to make my iron ingots. And then the iron we need to make the copper ingots is going to come here, split in here, and then split off. It's going to get lifted. Oop. And it's going to come back here and shoot straight up. And to get everything in this factory going, all we got to do is connect a lift here, like so. Drag this bad boy all the way. Oof. I'm not liking that. Okay, how bad does it clip? Oof. You know what? That's just decoration. For something. I don't, it's decoration. But then we take this line of iron, hook it up to a lift here, like so, and like so, and ba-bam. Oh wait, and like so. Oh, right, and like so. Boom. Now the whole base should be online, 100% completely online. Now, I still gotta go delete some stuff over there real quick, so I'm going to go do that, and then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna check on the factory, and just double check that everything is actually running. And oh my gosh, dude, it looks so good. Just walking around and seeing just some massive structure. Like it doesn't seem like a tunnel. I don't know what it seems like, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it just looks so good. All right, so on the bottom floor, all of our raw resources, copper ingots and caterium ingots are flowing very nicely, and it looks great with all the lifts in the one corner. And then if we go to the second floor, all of our resources are still going up. We got all of our copper ingots and caterium ingots coming in, making a ton of wire that's going nowhere. That might be a problem. All this wire flowing beautifully, I think. Yes. Flowing beautifully. Love to see it. And then if we go to the third floor, where there may or may not be issues. Oh, the wire is flowing now. Okay. It just didn't get steel pipes yet, I'm assuming. But all the wires now flowing. As you can see, it's going. It's chugging along. But everything is being done. All of our cables being made. Very beautiful. We got 600 iron ingots right here being made. Also, very beautiful. We got all of our 125 steel pipes. And then our 50 stators, which these these stators still need to go into a storage container. I'm not really too sure where to put them. I might just put a storage container right here at the end and just let them all build up into the one. Because this whole build, I wasn't trying to go wider than 5 platforms. Just kind of like as like a little challenge, but also I feel like a really massive skinny building would look sick. But anyways, we got all of our stators, and then these stators are coming up, and our cable is coming. Yep, our cable's going up to the 4th floor, where we are making our automated wiring. Oh, it's beautiful. So now, in no time at all, we should be able to complete this phase. Oh man, all of our coal generators over there looking pretty good. Got my giant base over there. And got this. Dude, this looks so good. I cannot get over how good this looks. I just keep smiling at it every time I see it. Like, I don't know. And I don't think I'm going to decorate or like actually build this base yet until I get like the hover pack, or at the very least like the jetpack, just because currently it would take way longer than it needs to, just like that did, and it would be much more of a pain than it needs to be. Besides, even like this, I still think it looks really good. But alright, boys, let me get some resources together and then put down, or go to the space elevator. The fuck? It's 9 o'clock. I still need to put my clothes in the dryer. I'm supposed to be going to bed right now. Oh yeah, I need to find a power pole. What is my power usage? Last time I checked, we were at 2,700-ish megawatts. Ooh. Yeah, this factory is using some power. Alright, so I waited a few minutes. Now all we gotta do is yoink, yoink, yoink. And then we head over here to the space elevator. And it looks like everything here is backed up. The reinforced plates and all my modular frames. So that's pretty cool. Then we just temporarily go boop, boop, boop. Drop in our highest tier belts that we have. Doesn't matter if it's messy because obviously it's all getting deleted. Then we go boop, 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 and we wait. Alright, and there we go. That's phase 2 done. But first, we're gonna delete the conveyors. I'll just do that, make it quick. And instead of deleting the storage containers, since we still have quite a bit of items left in here, and we're automating a fair amount of both automated wiring and versatile frameworks, And smart plating I'll probably automate eventually. I still have 60 reinforced plates a minute that's just being unused. And I would just have to make a little rotor factory with some smart plating assemblers probably in the rotor factory, which wouldn't be hard at all. So we're going to take these 3 and connect it to this merger, which is going to an already powered awesome sink. And this will get rid of all these items nicely, get us some tickets, which we go from 1,000 points a minute, 318,000 points a minute, 16 coupons. But in the meantime, while that's going, we can get to the goods, the good goods. All right, this is it. This is the moment I've been waiting for. This is when we get to the real game. This is like mid-tier. This is when we get jetpacks, fuel generators, oil stuff. This is when we build some, hopefully massive factories. All we gotta do now is pull the lever.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Other lever, maybe?